John, are there any stocks in particular that look irresistible at these levels, or are you saying it's still simply way too early to consider buying?
Well, Andrew, I would be buying the IBB. I think the IBB index, the biotech index ETF, is looking so sharp from a long-term investor perspective, and you buy basically no company-specific risk. You just buy the low price, and there's great names in that index, and it's got all the great stories that are going to come out at some point to work out. So if you want my buy right now, it's the IBB. I would not be buying stocks, but I would be buying the IBB. It's leading the way down. There are so many good names in there that are super cheap. You buy them all, and then you just say, hey, I could really care less what happens over the next 6 months. I bought the IBB at a very low price.
Assuming you do have some cash on the sidelines there. Speaking of which, did you foresee this? How much cash have you got?
I'm taking my own advice, Andrew. I'm not going to buy myself for, till the fall. I mean, I think the lessons of these markets is you buy when the momentum really turns and not try to figure out the bottom. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build cash for a while. What am I watching? I like? I told you about IBB. So if I get back in, I'll buy the IBB. If before then, I might nibble a little bit and, start to put some 401k stuff to work on the IBB. But for example, Tesla, do I think Tesla looks good at these levels? Not really. I'm not interested in an $800 electric stock with the amount of competition that's coming out of play. Do I buy Bitcoin at these levels? I would never trust that to begin with, so there's no way I'm going there. So then you say, do I buy big stocks? I certainly would buy big tech stocks. For a name I'll throw out there, I would be a buyer of the Syna, ticker SYNA, Synaptics. This is, your touchscreen technology. It's getting cheap. And again, if I like to hold stocks where I know the story is going to work over 2-3 years, that's probably a great 401k buy right now. You can pick up Syna really nicely. Outside of the names that are really, really, another one I like, ON Semiconductor, ticker ON. ON hasn't really got beaten up that much, but it's in a great industry. You're going to get a great price, and it's going to be a great story on this semiconductor rebound. So yeah, I think, bottom line, Andrew, you look at this market, it priced out the VIX at about 34.5 today. Unfortunately, to get a washout, we need to break the last high of the VIX, which is 36. So the truth is, this wasn't that much of a shakeout today from a capitulation perspective. Chris pointed that out. I totally agree with it. And that means we got to look for a 38 for the traders. But if you're not a trader, who cares, right? Do I care at 37 on the VIX or 35? It's a really nice time to enter a trade. You're a long-term investor. You should be nibbling, picking up these ETFs like IBB, picking up cheap tech stocks like Syna, buying the big brand name stuff like Amazon at the lows. Sure, why not?
Did you mention Amazon there?
Yeah, Amazon, why not? I mean,
Yeah,
look,
well, it's off what, 30% over? Yep.
Yeah, that's it. You don't have to be a genius. I mean, the lesson of these markets is to buy the premier names, the really big, popular names in the markets. For example, JP Morgan, buy some JP Morgan. I mean, it's super cheap. I mean, yeah, do we know where it's going? Of course we don't, but we buy the best stock in the banking industry in the United States at the lows, and we just hold on to it. So again, get your shopping basket together. Do not be very smart. Be very dumb. Buy the big, strong, well-known brands, well-known names, big companies where you know the businesses, and just buy the stocks.
That is fascinating advice. Don't be too smart, be dumb.